Let's see how we perform video switching using our Flex Dual control panel. So on the Flex control panel, if we look at the stripe, the lower two set of buttons represent your program preview row. You'll see that the program row shows up red and the preview row shows up green. Above each button is an LCD readout, and that shows you what the current channel is that is selected for this. Now, I do want to point out there's actually two rows on this LCD. The lower set of readouts, the bottom two lines, represent the lower set of buttons, and the upper two lines represent the upper buttons up here. So we're always going to be looking at the lower ones. To select a source, you just press the button you want. For example, if I want camera 2 on preview, I could select it and you can see it changes. Now we can change the names in these readouts by going into the TriCaster and modifying it. To modify the names, you just go to the button in question. Let's say I want to rename LCD readout for button 1. We'll just right click on button 1 and go to configure. Then in this window, go to the name comment area. And where it says button, this is the label that will show up for that button. So for example, let's say I want to change this to main for the name. I'll close it. And we can see that now button 1 says main on its label. Now there are more sources available than what might be visible on all of these buttons. And that can be changed by using the bank buttons. You'll notice that next to your T-bar is a set of buttons that say bank 1, bank 2, bank 3, and bank 4. So if you press one of these, like bank 2, you'll see that all of this updates to my next bank of sources. And if I press bank 3, it updates again to the next bank of sources. Now there's actually two ways that we can do banking. If I press the button and release, it will switch to that bank and stay on it. But let's say, for example, I want to select camera 14 and then go back to bank 1. I can do that by holding down bank 2, and while I continue to hold the button down, select my source and then release, and then you'll see that it switches back to bank 1. Over in your banking area, you'll notice some information appear as well. The bank that is highlighted in white is the bank that's currently selected. But if you have sources that are selected on a different bank, for example, I just put camera 14 on preview, which is on bank 2, you'll notice that bank 2 is flashing green, letting me know that on that bank is where my preview channel is. And if I just hold it down, we can see that number 14 is the source that has been selected. By our T-bar, we have controls for performing transitions. So we have a take and auto button. So auto will perform our current transition and take will perform a cut. If we want to change our transitions, we can do that through a couple of mechanisms. There is a button that says fade and another one that says trans. By pressing the button that says fade, it will always change you to the fade effect. So you see now I get a fade effect when I hit auto. And if I hit trans, that will go back to the previous transition you were using. So since that was circle, you can see I'm back on the circle white. If I want to select a different transition or change transition options, that can be done from the keypad. You'll notice that on the keypad, there's a set of blank buttons, and above it are some labels on the LCD panel. So if I click the button that is below the word effect, that will let me change the effect parameters through this keypad. And then I can choose what I want to change. So background would be the main switcher bus. So I'm going to select background. And then I could choose what do I want to change. So let's go to select. And now if I go page up, page down, you can see the different names of the different transitions appear. And if you want that one, hit enter. And now twirl has been selected. And then if I hit auto, you'll see that I get a twirl effect. And if I want something different, I could go back in again, select it, find the next transition I want. Let's say I want clouds, hit enter, and now I get the clouds effect. Other options that are available to us include the rate. So here you can do slow, medium, and fast by just pressing the appropriate button for what you want. Or if you do set, you can type in a speed using the numbers on the keypad. You can also go back by hitting the page up to go previous to a menu. And if we go to options, here I'll see options like reversing the direction of my transition or turning ping pong on or off. And then if I just want to get back to the base level of my keypad menu, I can just hit home and that will take you back to the first level of menus. We also have our T-bar, and our T-bar will allow us to manually perform a transition for our TriCaster.